Welcome to Don Bosco Vazhikaatti, a center for career guidance, training and job placement for the past 28 years. So, we are looking into the CLAT exams. We have already covered 4 sections. So, in this video, I am going to explain CLAT Section D, Section E, Legal Aptitude. So, we will see one by one what are the things in the CLAT. So, the first thing, when you go to the CLAT legal aptitude, we can see the contract law. Contract law, mainly it focuses on the law and the other things only. So, the question number 1 goes like this: agreement without consent is dash. Agreement without consent is dash. That is void only, because agreement means there should be a mutual consent between both the agreement persons. So, if there is no consent, means it already a void thing. So, the explanation is given clearly here. Even see section number 25 under Contract Law Act. So, the explanation goes like this: Constitution is essential for both the persons as to agree. If one person agree, the other person is not agree, means there should be no agreement. The agreement has to take place by the mutual consent of the both person. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2, it goes like this. See, a minor entering into a contract for purchasing a car, whether the contract is valid or not. Again, it's invalid. That is void ab initio. It is invalid means because he is a minor. When he enter the major only, he can enter into a agreement. When he was a minor, he cannot be agreement. He cannot do agreement things. So the law clearly tells after the age of 18 itself, only we can make an agreement and other things. Because till that age we cannot make an agreement, and the law clearly states that also. So let's move on to the next section. Okay, the next section is law of tortoise. The law of tortoise, the question number 1 goes like this. Okay, defamation is of 2 types. Name them. Already they were clearly given. Defamation is of 2 types. What are they? That only we have to explain. The answer is libel and slander. Okay, it is very easy one. Okay, the explanation is given here. Libel means written and permanent. Okay, it cannot be changed. Written and it is a permanent libel. That is the thing. And slander. Slander, it can be a oral or a spoken language, and it is only a temporary. So libel means it is permanent and it is a written document. Slander means it is oral, like a spoken word only, and it is temporary. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Okay, the question number 2 goes like this. Okay, A throw a stone into a crowd. Okay, he throws a stone into a crowded places. Okay, and it injured B. Which principle it acts? Okay, A throw a stone into a crowded area and it injures the B. And which principle they are asking? The answer is C. Res ipsa logitur. That is the thing. The things explain itself. The thing explain itself. See, the throwing of axe itself explain itself. Explanation is given. Negligence. Negligence is presumed. Okay, negligence is presumed when act itself proves guilt. Negligence is presumed when act itself proves guilt. Okay, let's see. A throws a stone in the crowded area. That act itself tells it's a wrong. Crowded area itself, you cannot throw a stone because it may injure anyone. So the act itself tells that is a guilty one and it should not be done. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Okay, next section we are going to the terms and maxims. Okay, these are the terms and maxims. The question number 1 goes like this. Question number 1 goes like this. What does ignoratia juris non excusa means? Okay, it is in Italian. What does the ignoratia juris non excusa mean? Okay, the answer is ignorance of law is no excuses. Ignorance of law, if you does not know the law, that like that you are telling means it is not an excusable thing. Okay, ignorance of law is no excuse. Explanation. See, a person cannot plead. Okay, a person cannot plead ignorance of law as a defense. Okay, if he claims I do not know about the law itself, that should not, he cannot claim that, because the law clearly tells if he cannot cross the road means you should not do, and after crossing the road you should not explain I do not know the law, that's why I am crossing. Ignorance of law is not exempted. Okay, we can move on to the next question. Okay, question number 2 goes like this. What does nemo judex in asa sua means? What does nemo judex in asa sua means? The answer is clear. No one should be a judge in his own case, own cause. Okay, we cannot be a judge in our own cause. That is the explanation, answer for this, and the explanation clearly tells. See, principle of natural justice ensures fairness. We cannot be a judge for our own cause. That is the main thing. Okay, let us move on to the next section. Okay, next section, we are going to the next session, and this you can see mission of the law. The question goes like this. First question, right to equality is quoted under the which articles? So for these questions and all, we have to know our constitution and other things, and we have to thorough with our constitution and other things. The answer is given, article number 14 to 18. Okay, for what question it is given? Equality is given. Equality is guaranteed. Right to equality. Which article it speaks? Article number 14 to 18. And the explanation also gives like that. So article number 14 to 18, it speaks about the right to equality and other things, right to freedom exercise, like that. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, the question number 2 goes like this. Okay, which part of the constitution contains fundamental duties? Okay, it is, answer is given, part 4a, article 51a. Okay, that speaks about the articles. So if you refer the article, you can answer easily. They can directly ask you questions, which part of the article this one it's taken from. So if you thorough with the articles only, Indian Constitution articles and our law articles also, then only you can answer this type of questions. Okay, in the next session we are going to see that the passage based law. Okay, they have given a passage and we have to think which passage the based law is given. Okay, passage expert is given. Parliament passed a law. Okay, Parliament passed a law curtailing free speech. Okay, we have given the freedom to speech and other things. Which fundamental right is violated here? Okay, free to speech is right to equality will come, and which fundamental right is violated here? So the answer is clear. The article 19(1)(a), right to freedom of speech. Okay, the Indian Constitution clearly states that we are given the right to speech. If it is curtailed, means it is against the Constitution and against the law, and we have explained which is violated here. Article 19(1)(a), it is violated here because it tells about the right to speech, and we have the freedom to speak also. We have the freedom to speak anywhere. So let's move on to the next section. Okay, next session we'll go on to the miscellaneous. Okay, the question number 1 goes like this. Who is the first woman judge of the Supreme Court? Okay, who is the first woman judge of the Supreme Court in India? Okay, the answer is given Justice M. A. Fatima Bevi. Okay, Justice M. A. Fatima Bevi is the first woman judge of the Indian Constitution. Okay, if we want to answer this type of question, we have to thorough with the years as well as which persons have played a role in that time. So we need to thorough with that all the things, history parts, we have to thorough with the history parts, then only we can answer this type of questions. Okay, let's move on to the question number 2. Okay, the question number 2 goes like this. Which case is known as the basic structure? Okay, which case is known as the basic structure doctrine case? Okay, the answer is given here. Keshavanada Bharati versus State of Kerala. Okay, this case. So I already told this type of questions, if we know the history only, we can answer this type of questions. So the case is already clear. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, the last of this legal aptitude is criminal law. Okay, the question number 1 goes like this. Every murder is culpable. Okay, every murder is culpable of homicide. But they have given a surprise question. Culpable homicide is not murderer. True or false? Okay, first thing, they have clearly stated that every murder is culpable of homicide. Okay, first law they have given every murder is a culpable of homicide. Then second thing they are given culpable homicide is not murder. True or false? So the answer is true. Okay, the explanation goes like this. Culpable homicide, that means section 299 IPC section 299, its state is the genus. Okay, so first thing, the culpable homicide is a murder they are telling, and the second thing they are telling culpable homicide is not murder. Everything. So the section IPC section 299 clearly state that this code is a true one. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, in criminal law, the next question number 2 goes like this. Okay, intentionally, A intentionally hits B with a stick. Okay, A is intentionally hitting B with a stick, and that made him to cause death. So its offense is committed or not? Answer is simple, it's a murder. According to the section of 302, IPC section 302, it's a murder. Why it is a murder means it is explained clearly. The intention plays the major role there, because without the intention, if you are throwing a stone like that, means it's not a murder. But intentionally, if you are targeting anyone to punish and that leads to death, means it is surely a murder only, because your intention is to attack them. That itself made you to be culpable of committing murder. So these kind of things we have to legally think whether it is murder or not. We have to analyze clearly. If intention plays a vital role, then surely it's a murder only. Without intention, it may not be a murder, but with intention, proper intention that I want to punish that person, means that is a murder. Okay, let's move on. This the last slide. And if you want to know further details about the CLAT videos and other videos, exam videos, kindly subscribe our Don Bosco Vazhikaatti YouTube channel for the more updated videos and other things. Thank you.